everyone.
Hi.
So, I'm here with Carolynn Sells, winner of the Manx Grand Prix in 2009.
Yes, yep.
Yes, just came for a little bit of a chat, just general discussion chat, get together, catch up. Yeah, so just wanted to talk a little bit about your racing career.
Yeah.
And when did you start, basically?
So I first started racing in 2000. I just bought my first house, and then I thought it'd be a really good idea to go racing as well.
Cool.
So
Spend the money.
yeah. So do it all at once. Yeah. So I only did 3 meetings in the first year. On my dad's TZ 250.
Your dad raced, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
he did. Yeah.
Cool.
And my brother.
Right.
So I got a bit jealous. I was like, I want to have a go at that.
Yeah.
So
Whatever's good enough for you, I'm gonna.
Yeah, exactly. If you can do it, I can too. So
Older brother as well.
yeah.
Was that just Ilston? Yes.
Right, okay. Sorry. Yeah, so I did 2 meetings on my dad's TZ, which was fun.
Yeah.
I love the 250. And then I did an endurance race with another girl on a 400. So didn't go that well.
Where was the endurance race?
It was at Derby Airfield,
yeah,
in the Isle of Man, and I got nominated to do the start, and I crashed at the start because like as we set off, I got boxed in, and I just dropped the bike, and but I still had hold of the throttle, and the bike was spinning around. And then I managed to pick it up, and I set off, and I got black flagged because I'd carried on without getting checked out, so I had to come back in and get checked out.
Did you get back out and finish?
Yeah,
cool.
we did. So we did well. Can't remember where we finished there. It's a long time ago. Yeah. So and then after that, I liked riding the 400. So we got another 400 then for the next year. So to have a go on that.
Yeah.
But TT was cancelled that year.
Yeah.
It was 2001.
Right. Oh yes, that was
the foot and mouth
thing.
Yeah, it was foot and mouth, wasn't it?
So Manx would be TT and Manx would be
but they still ran a meeting at Derby because like loads of people came over, so there was Farquhar and all those kind of people.
Yeah.
And I did that on my new 400.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that was quite fun.
Yeah.
So and then so I did a couple more meetings that year at Derby. I used to come over here and race because Mum and Dad lived here. So.
Yeah.
And then did New Era where we raced together or in the same races a couple of times, did we?
I'm not.
When you were on the 125, did you race with the 400? Yeah.
And there's a. I'll try and find it, but there's a interview, isn't there, with both. With you. We were in the same program because he used to be
scratching. I can't find that anywhere.
I found the video the other day, and I actually got my old video player working.
Did you?
So I'll try and get that footage on here.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah, because they did a little show and they had me and you on it, didn't they? So I think I have the video somewhere, but I just need to delve around in the loft
and find it.
Yeah,
I'll try and dig that out then, because that would be quite cool.
That would be excellent.
So from there, you've done quite a lot of road racing. Really, you've had quite great achievements. You're the fastest lady around quite a few Irish road races.
And still am, even though I haven't raced there since 2008.
So which are the Irish circuits you're the fastest female?
So Skerries, Walderstown, Faugheen and Athay. I think that's how you say that one. So yeah, which is good because there's been quite a few other women that have road raced there since.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And if anyone's ever, I'm sure people watching the channel, hopefully, if you've not ever seen any Irish road racing, go and look it up because it is scary.
It's great, and I love Skerries is one of the best, and that's because it's got really narrow roads and really bumpy.
Yeah.
I love that, fast corners. So when we did I did New Era just to get my licence, really.
Oh right, for the race.
Yeah, so that I could get my national licence.
So your desire was always to be a road racer, really?
That was my goal, was to come here and do the Manx.
Yeah.
So my dad had been doing it since 1985, and I always sort of daydreamed about doing it.
Yeah.
And then I was 27, and I thought, you know what, I want to have a go at that. So I got my national licence in 2003, and came and did the Manx. As a newcomer, I did the Derby road race first to see if I liked it.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah.
It's just excellent. It's just so different to circuit racing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's different, completely different.
There's different mindset, different technique and yeah. So
you loved it.
I loved it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So first Manx Grand Prix was 2003. And where did you say you?
I came. So in the newcomers race, I came 4th in that race.
That's great.
Yeah. So there was about 15 finishers in our class as well. So
yeah,
you know, 4th is pretty good. Yeah. I was like really pleased with that. I think it was like the highest finish by a woman at the time.
Yeah.
In any of the races. So I think Sandra Barnett finished 9th in her newcomers race.
Yeah.
So for me to finish 4th was great.
Great.
Yeah. So, but I was a bit gutted because it was a record-breaking year, and the guy that came and won the ultra lightweight as well.
Yeah.
Which like is kind of unheard of for somebody to come and win the newcomers and win the main race.
So he was
really quick. I think he did about 108, something like that, which is really quick on 400.
Yeah.
So I was a bit gutted because I could have
rocked up and
because he just came, did it, and then buggered off. And, and it,
right when you just started.
And any year before and any year afterwards, for like ages, I would have been on the podium.
Yeah.
And that was like my little goal. I was like thinking, right, I could maybe get 3rd and get 100 mile an hour, and I did 101.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Not bad on a little standard 400.
Amazing. Yeah.
So
that's really good.
Yeah.
When I first came here, it took me ages to get to 100 mile an hour because it's so you're just trying to get your head around what you're actually doing.
Yeah. What were your practice laps at the start?
I don't actually know, but I know it. I was a bit just like in awe of the whole thing, and just mine was blown, if you know what I mean. So it took me a while to go, right, just concentrate, focus, and get faster. So
yeah, but didn't you do 116 on my motor? Was it my motor that you did it on? Do you remember I lent you a 600 motor?
Yeah. No, it was on the plough, but I did borrow your engine.
Yeah.
I blew. I did drop a valve. I think I dropped a valve on my 600. We borrowed one of your engines.
Yeah, I think you went quicker than me on it anyway, didn't you?
Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, well, you know.
This place kills engines, doesn't it?
It does.
Like, you need to bring in probably a spare engine, anything I'd spare, and
No, but I was glad to help you out, you know. I just wanted to see you out there, and because I knew you could do well, so yeah.
So from your newcomer year, fast forward to 2009 when you won. I remember we were in the workshop listening to that race, and it was great listening where you were and when you And so run us through that. What was that like?
So I mean, you know yourself, these things don't just happen. We spent, the guy that sponsored me had me try three different bikes at the start of the year, because the year before I'd crashed out of 3rd place, catching the 2 guys ahead of me, and so they knew I could do it. So there was a real focus on getting the right bike for me, and so I tested 3 bikes, and out of the 3, the one that I liked was the last one of the 3. And that one, it just, the other 2, because they were Yamahas, you see, and I'd always raced for Hondas. Yeah. And the Hondas are like on rails, they're so, so smooth, they handle really well, and the others, the front end of the Yamaha just felt so loose and sloppy, and
and confidence is a massive thing, isn't it? You want to feel.
I just didn't like them. They're so different. So anyway, the one that I liked was actually a bike that Darren Slew used to race. Darren's now one of the travelling marshals. Yeah. So, but again, the front end just felt really sloppy on it, and so we spent all year doing a couple of roads, and then the whole practice week we were just tweaking things and concentrating on getting the handling right, changing the seat, foam, just really, it was every day there was loads of analytics going on and getting the bike set up just how I wanted it. And then by the end of practice week, and we were measuring the fuel and everything, and just working out what we could do, how much I could do the fuel on it. So it was really quite technical, I like to have things just right and getting all the gearing right, because the Yamaha gearing is totally different to the Honda gearing. And so by the end of practice week I had it where I thought, I'm going to enjoy riding this. went into the race. I just went. Felt really confident, but like quietly confident. You know,
that's the best way to be, in it, quietly confident.
Yeah,
you've done
definitely.
your homework, you've done the prep, and
I never shouted, "Oh, I want to be the first to do this," or you know, I never made a song and dance about it. I just always had it in my head, like I'm gonna do this, you know. So bloody glad it happened. So and the race, you know, at the start of the race there was a delay. So we'd had loads of bad weather. There was loads of rain the day before. They had a road sweeper out at Prix, because there was loads of standing water on the road, and the road sweeper dropped all its bristles all over the road. So they delayed. So they delayed the race for about half an hour, and
just out to the news.
Well, it did the opposite, because the boys were having a bit of a thing on it because the fuel tank was so full, and it was spewing out the breather, and they were all sort of getting a bit stressed, and I was getting a bit stressed watching what was going on. So the delay actually gave me a chance to walk away from the start for a bit, and that half an hour just went away, and I nipped to the loo, and you know, and I think that really helped. I'm quite glad it happened. So, and then off we went.
And then so you're coming towards the end of the race, and we'll make. We just commandeered.
Is it alright?
1, 2, yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, yeah.
Yes, we've just commandeered the. Is it the Mercury Centre?
Yes.
This is obviously Alaman TT 2022. This is the swanky area where we don't feel like we fit. So I'll just spin it around.
We're in the posh bit.
We're in the posh bit.
They've just been doing a sound check, so we had to.
We just
not sure what's going on.
So we'll resume. So so you run that final lap, and I think if it was me, I would be absolutely scared that something was going to break on the bike.
Oh God, it was terrifying.
Were you?
God, I spent like for the last 2 laps I was out on my own. And I just spent the whole time talking to the bike, talking to myself. You know, like, and you know, you do it, don't you? You're swearing at yourself. Why have you just done that? And I was just like, come on, Carolyn, keep it together. Keep it together. And then I'm talking to the bike, and every now and then I was like tapping the tank, like, just keep going for me, you know. Just get me to the end, it was very, very windy up on the mountain, so I'd had to gear it down a little bit and things like that to cope with the headwind, because the headwind was so strong.
So you kind of preempted that before the race?
Because it was so windy. And actually the morning of the race I didn't realise we lived in Patrick at the time. Roger came to the paddock, but he went the long way around and I went the short way around. So between the two of us we knew what it was like all around the circuit.
Perfect,
so he'd done that on purpose so he could have a see what it was like over on the mountain. So we knew, and somebody got blown off their bike at Windy Corner before the roads closed. So
you knew it's pretty windy up there. It's not called Windy Corner for no reason, is it?
Exactly. So all of those things. And I was just like talking. I was getting pit boards at the 13th because Martin always goes there. And Andy Farrell's uncle was there, and he was waving at me, going, "Slow down," and I was like, going, "No, I'm quite happy." Because I wasn't pushing it. You know, I knew I was comfortably in the lead, so I just wanted to keep that rhythm, keep that pace, and I think there was only a couple of seconds difference in my last 2 laps.
Sometimes it's better to keep in your rhythm, isn't it?
Because if you kind of slow down, you kind of lose concentration a little bit.
Sometimes it's better just to stay going fast.
Definitely. So, and then my lap took just under 108 on the last lap.
It's mad that, isn't it? On the little 400.
It is, we had standing water, we had rain on lap 2 in Ramsey. Standing water at a couple of places, so
a bit thrown at you. Wind,
there was like every season in one day.
So then crossing the line, seeing that checkered flag.
You've always got Governor's Dip first though, haven't you? So going around there, steady. I was just like, stay up, you know. And a friend of mine's actually the DSM there, and they were all standing in the middle of the road clapping.
Yeah.
And I just waited until I got up over that little rise and give them a little wave, and then I knew then
You were safe then.
I'm all right now.
Last thing you want is just
and
a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Covers.
God, you don't want to do that, do you?
No.
So yeah, I blasted off down to the finish line, and I held it together, but as soon as I crossed that line, I just was like shouting, screaming, crying. It all happened at once in my helmet.
Yeah.
So I'm coming up the return road, like my legs were shaking, and you know.
I mean, it's a big thing, isn't it? There's so much preparation, your team preparation as well. I mean, it's for the team as well, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, totally. And also, like, you know how nervous you get on the start line, and like my legs can be shaking on the start line, and I think I'm going to drop the bike before I even get there.
Yeah.
You know, and you leave it on the start line, but it was like I picked it all up again when I got back.
Yeah, like the relief, isn't it?
Yeah. So. Yeah, and then like I dropped the bike in the holding area when they stopped me. My legs were like jelly. Yeah. So I put my foot down on a slope, and I've only got little legs anyway. Yeah. I'm not blessed with long legs like you. So.
So you just said you found the winners enclosure footage as well, hopefully. So
I have, yeah. So a guy has got quite a lot of the footage. He's got me coming into the holding area, and then he's got all the sitting on the bike and everybody taking pictures, and then the podium ceremony as well.
That's great. Cause we were just saying, because everyone's got a phone these days and everything's filmed, and the difference between back then and now, you know,
it's
trying to get some footage of it's nice to have, just even for yourself, you know.
Totally. I mean, when I first started racing the Manx in 2003, when you know, like photographers send you pictures, you used to get them on a sheet, and it was little actual photographs stapled to a sheet.
Yeah,
you didn't get digital copies because they didn't do them then.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
So like I've got loads of little sheets of things, but unless you actually bought the photograph, you didn't get it.
Now
it's everything's everywhere. So you know, and that's only it's nearly 20 years ago actually. Isn't it?
But still a massive difference. But it's cool that you found that footage.
I'm just like I've been trawling the internet for years, just like hoping to find something, and I found this guy who had some footage from the year before, and I said, "Oh, you don't have any from 2009, by the way, do you?" And it turned out he had quite a bit, so he put it together and put it on YouTube, so that's good.
So we're trying to link that to this video.
Yeah.
And then there's ace footage of you. I remember seeing footage of you being carried on the winner's chair.
Yeah, the scariest ride of your life, that is.
Great, you know,
it's kind of tradition to try and throw you out of it.
But I mean, not only like success for you and great achievement for yourself, but so many people seem so happy for you, and they just, you know, when they're lifting you, carrying, they're just.
I got a standing ovation from everybody in the villa, which is massive. And I watch it back now, and I still get tingles like looking at it, you know.
Yeah. So like fantastic support, and so many people are so happy to see you win.
Yeah, which is great. Nice. So,
and then, so in terms of road racing as well, from there, so was it in between then in 2009 you did Irish road racing and did the Northwest?
Yeah, I did do the Northwest. What happened there was I entered after doing the Manx in 2003. Martin bought a 600 for me, and I entered the production TT. But the Manx Motorcycle Club turned my entry down, so I was gutted, because my brother was doing it, and I really wanted to have a go. So another friend of mine said, "Oh, come and do the Northwest." So I was like, "Oh, right, okay." Didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
Totally unprepared for it.
Right.
Little standard 400. You know, could have got my pillow out and gone to sleep down the back street.
Just popped out for ages,
Hello.
like, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Did you enjoy it?
I did, but
You really need a bigger bike then.
yeah, you need a bigger bike.
Yeah.
And I was just totally unprepared. I didn't really know anything about it, and I was in this little tent in the middle of all these like big names, and
Yeah.
just felt completely out of my depth, really.
Yeah.
So I rode round and I had a bit of fun,
Yeah.
but I didn't set the world alight, you know. But then that year, I went and did Killer Lane road race
Yeah.
in September.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that.
Really?
Yeah, I was
That's
lying
cool.
sixth until the last lap when I overshot one of the corners and I ended up seventh. But
That's
I was really pleased with that.
Yeah.
You know, for my first, and it's such a narrow, bumpy.
yeah.
You know,
There's a proper road circuit. Like
It is, yeah. There's one of the corners actually. You've got to wait for the tree in the middle of the road.
Awesome. Just aim for the tree.
Yeah, just aim for the tree.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I always remember one of the lads coming up to me afterwards and he was like, oh my God, because I just went past him down the
Yeah.
back straight. Like, I realised that I actually love the really small, bumpy,
Yeah.
narrow, scary stuff.
Brilliant. Ideal. If you're going to ride it,
Yeah.
I definitely like it.
Yeah, so
You did the Southern as well. So.
I did, yeah. I did the Southern a few times.
Yeah.
And
Did you like
then,
that?
yeah, I did. And I won a race there in 2005.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was only my second year doing it. And that was on the 400. I won the race by just over 10 seconds.
Oh, mega.
Yeah, so yeah, I really
amazing.
enjoyed that. And
Yeah.
I remember one of the reporters saying to me he was in Douglas and he was listening to it on the radio and he thought, bloody hell, she's going to win this. So he hot-footed it down to the paddock in time to get an interview
Oh,
with
cool.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bloody
because
hell.
that was the first woman ever to win a race at the 700. So,
cool.
and it was the 50th anniversary as well. So I get a little mention in the book.
Oh, cool.
So that's
great,
quite
isn't it?
nice.
Yeah,
And I've
yeah.
got that at home somewhere.
Hello. We're just occupying the tables. Yes, that's cool. So really, you've got lots of achievements.
Yeah, I
Girls for
would.
women. And,
Yes, I won a championship in the Isle of Man as well in 2002. So I'm the only woman that's ever won a solo championship.
oh, cool.
Yeah,
There's loads of things that like we don't know about Carolynn Sells.
yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose I don't go around shouting about it
No.
too much, but yeah.
And
I love it.
and then, go on. Sorry.
It's okay. No, I was gonna say I loved it. I just loved road racing.
Yeah.
You know, love the Irish roads and the reception you get over there is always brilliant.
Yeah.
Did have a crash at Tandragee in 2005, lying fourth in one of the races, but
you okay?
hailstoning.
Hailstone.
I broke my elbow and tore all the ligaments in this shoulder, which still gives me jip every now and then. But,
Yeah.
you know, never mind.
It's not bad for a road race. Enjoy.
No.
So yeah, you got 3 girls now, is it? 3 little girls.
I have, yes.
And I saw a video the other day of your little one doing a
Yeah.
jump on
Yeah,
a motorbike.
she's ace. That's the littlest one.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got twins, but one of them's quite a bit bigger than the other one.
Yeah.
So, the littlest one, she's a little demon on a bike. Like the second time she'd ever ridden a bike, she was standing up on it and like revving out of any dips and stuff, so that it would jump out. And
Yeah.
she loves it. Yeah.
So if any of those want to go racing, what would you? Are you encouraging or would you like?
I'm not encouraging at the moment. We
Yeah.
just want them to ride bikes and have fun.
Yeah.
I don't want them to compete particularly.
Yeah.
But if they get older and they decide they want to do that, then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most important thing is to have fun in it. And,
Yeah, I just want them to go and have fun, really.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Anything else? Any other?
I don't know.
When did you actually stop road racing then? Was it
After the Manx.
After the Manx.
Yeah, I went and did the endurance after that.
Yeah.
Which was I leading that one or was that the year before? Oh no, that was a few years before. I crashed out leading in the wet.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was it really.
Yeah.
I kind of always had it in my head I wanted to finish that year.
Yeah.
And after crashing out of third the year before, originally I was going to go and have a go at the TT in 2009 and then pack it in.
Yeah.
But then finding out that I was in third when I crashed out and thought, oh, I've got to have another go. So I did the Manx.
Yeah.
And I just thought, there's no point going to the TT now, because after winning, and then if I went to the TT, I'd probably be down the back somewhere, and it's like an anticlimax, really, isn't it?
Stop on a high.
So I just cut my losses and was happy with what I'd done.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, not cut your losses.
Yeah. And then you went on to be sort of a liaison officer type? Yeah, and help newcomers to...
Yes.
So what was that
I've been rider liaison since 2010, the year after.
Yeah.
And I've taught newcomers. So for about 5 or 6 years, we did it with the Herald Foundation. Yeah. And then the ACU wanted to get involved then, and now we have proper licensed training. Yeah. So now we have an ACU license to teach. Yeah. So,
brilliant. I mean, that's a nice thing to pass on your experiences to.
It is, and I really enjoy it, and I think I give the boys quite a lot of information when I do it. I always get really good feedback, which is quite nice. Yeah. So actually at this last one, just about every guy said like, oh, that was the best lap they'd done, because I talk about how the bike's going to feel and you know, all sorts of stuff, not just peeling here, brake here. You know, I don't need to teach them how to ride a motorbike. But I want to prepare them for their first few laps.
Cool. Anything else to think, or we could throw it out to audience watching this? If you think of anything you want to ask Carolynn, I'm sure we can add that to.
We can always do it by Zoom or by messenger chat or something, can't we?
But no, that's been great. Thanks very much for taking time to have a chat.
Thanks for asking
me,
Jem.
No, it's been great listening about all your successes in road racing, and good luck for the future.
Thanks very much, and you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.